evening and welcome to Being Black and Craft, where we don't apologize for recognizing our influence on craft beer. This is Angie, the Undeniable Vixen, your host. We have an amazing guest once again, but let's see if we can get into a little bit of beer news. So, it's been a long time. So let's see. I know I've been talking about this, but I think this is just going to be amazing. The Beer Experience, Juneteenth, their third annual kind of Juneteenth beer, R&B, music, the whole 9 yards. This is everything. It's going to be really great. So Vivian, who is there on the left-hand side, the far left, after meeting up 3 different times at Poor Patty's, making all lemonade varieties, and Mike working his crazy beer science magic, we got it. So join us at Shoehorn Brewing June 20th for our Experience Juneteenth beer release, Shandy Girl. It's a juicy collaboration between Shoehorn Brewery and Poor Patty's. Can't wait to see the brewing process in action. So this is just another thing that they're doing to kind of explore the beer experience and Juneteenth. And I just think this is amazing because me being in Texas, seeing all these different variations of Juneteenth and how people are really gravitating to that and really showing love about what it means and how they view it and how they want to share. So it's really great. So let's see, what else do we have here? Coming soon. So I took a little trip up to the Oak Cliff, where was born and raised, and there was a little bit of an open house for Spinox, and it was really great. It was my hair didn't make it because it was humid outside, but I had a wonderful time anyway. That was the mural that's really, really great. If you are in the DFW area, I hope that you come and check them out. It's going to be open officially in the summer. So got some drinks. I had a video, but my video didn't work. That's Mike at the bar. He was pouring one of the collaborations they did with Joshua King, which is we all need to do better. Kind of like a one-upping on the Black is Beautiful kind of situation, but something different completely. And it was a sour. It's I believe 2 years old, so it's aged gracefully. So it was really nice. It was really nice. So another friend of the show, Wendy Bridges Brew. Today we celebrate a significant milestone in history, recognizing the contributions of Black entrepreneurs and innovators in brewing and libations. We are grateful for the support and attendance, and this journey has evolved into something meaningful and inspiring, creating culture, creativity, and community. I'm blessed to have a network of like-minded individuals who inspire me. The unique flavors and energy of Wendy Bridges on the right and TLC Libations on the left. Basically, their home is in Pittsburgh, and I've had a chance to. No, I haven't had a chance. I am going to have a chance to meet Wendy Bridges Brewing Company on this coming Friday, Saturday. But I have actually had TLC Libations, and she makes some really nice crafted cocktails, especially if you go to Barrel and Flow. She's always there, and she's always making something or getting something paired, which is really good. So if you don't see them at Barrel and Flow in August, maybe you have some spare time this weekend, come to Barrel on the Bayou in New Orleans, because they both will be there. So they are celebrating putting their efforts together, Wendy Bridges and TLC Libations, and they are in a shop together. So you can get a little beer, you can get a little liquor. So for those people who say, "Oh, I don't like beer," or I don't know anything about beer, like but I will do a cocktail. You're right there. So if you're in near Pittsburgh, go and make sure you check them out. Then want to see, are you coming? Are you going to watch us on IG? So in Philly, July 25th, Wine and Culture. You can get your tickets now. Go to Wine and Culture and click the link to find ticket pricing. This is like a new kind of festival that I've heard about here lately, but I'm seeing that it's really taken flight with having a little bit of food, culture, and wine. So if you're in that area or you don't mind getting on a plane and jumping over to Philly, go and make sure you check them out. And then if you are in the Arkansas area, the Dirty Barista, who is basically a coffee person, as well as she makes her own crafted cocktails. She's a barista, and she does liquor. So she has her mobile bartending. So if you're in the Arkansas area, she said, my books are open. And you can go to the Dirty Barista, click the link, and you can book her to have a mobile bartending setup. So for serious inquiries, you can check out her website, and there's a form there in that link. So you can have, she probably does both. Probably will, if you want a coffee bar or a liquor bar. So make sure you check her out, the Dirty Barista. And then friends of the show, we have, backed by popular demand, it is Ballison Brewing, the Pine Exchange, and Crafty Brothers for another variation, Strongly Related Volume 3, which is a West Coast IPA with Acapulco Gold hops. And I don't know if you can see at the very top, it's a hop, and then there's I guess you dare say, a 420 hop over there. Said, how did we become best buds? So a little play on words for that. And Pine Exchange, I know, always does great things, as well as Crafty Brothers. So this trifecta of people getting together to make a brew is really great. So congratulations to them. And if you're in the Houston area, make sure you go and check them out at Ballison Brewing. Then that is all that I have for my news. So let me go ahead and bring my guest on the stage.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. It's so great to see you, and I'm so excited to get to talk to you and learn more about what you do. So first, let me find out just a little bit about you, Kristen.
Yeah.
So where do you hail from?
Oh gosh, I feel like I come from all over, but I grew up primarily in San Diego, and now I'm in Seattle. I was in Santa Barbara County for the last about decade, and so I made my way to Seattle just most recently.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was that? Was it just because you wanted to go to the Needle, or just for work?
It was a little bit of everything. It was a lot of life experiences kind of just pulled me up this way. And I lived here when I was a kid. And so I still have a lot of connections and family and friends still out here. So it felt like coming to second home. So it's been really good.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, you're telling me that you have your day job, and then you have Cote of Paint. Right. So how are you? I guess I want to ask for a work-life balance. How do you balance that?
To me, Cote of Paint, my wine brand is definitely, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like it's definitely a passion project more than anything. And
Mhm.
so I don't, I'm one of those people that I can work especially if the creative momentum hits, I can work until 10 p.m., 11 p.m. If I
Okay.
if the moment strikes, I'm gonna roll with it. So yeah, I genuinely I don't see it as a job. So it's really just a big creative passion project. And I think having the 9 to 5 to support the 5 to 9 is the thing that I think provides the mental sanity.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Cote of Paint is already disrupting the wine space. So, if your brand was a video game,
Ooh.
what level do you think you'd be on right now?
Ooh, I'm still very much in we're still considered a startup, I think. And so I would say we've definitely made it past the tutorial. We've made it past the kind of the parts of the game where you're learning to use all the different, you know, what can your character do, kind of all the basics. I would say we're probably at level 5.
Okay,
I think we're at
that's a
level
strong
5.
level.
Not out of 10, maybe out of 25 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because video games I know can go on forever.
they
Some
can,
of
yeah.
them can. And then you have the side quests that you go
Mhm,
back to or you start into. So yeah,
right,
I get that. I get that.
yeah. Or if it's a map, there's those exploratory games where there's the map that is very foggy,
Yes.
and you're as you're exploring, you see more of the map is
Yes.
unveiled. I definitely feel like we're in the beginning stages of the map kind of being unveiled. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. That's good though. So, okay, so wine has unwritten rules.
Mhm.
So, what one rule you intentionally broke, and how did you unlock that for your creativity?
Mhm. It was really that feeling of I started in the wine industry in 2015, and I really came in just going wine is great. I had no idea really how to sell it. I was just having a lot of fun. I started doing some winemaking in 2018, and really it was in 2020, like everybody else had epiphanies when every ish was hitting the fan. I
Mhm.
just in I really realized, oh, I'm in the wine industry and I don't even feel like the target audience, the target
Mhm.
consumer. And I knew that if I'm feeling that way as the wine professional, that there's got to be consumers who are feeling that way that aren't even coming into the tasting rooms because they don't feel like they are the target audience, that no one's talking to them. And so the thing that I was really trying to be disruptive about was just trying to make the space more, eh, I wanted to have fun with it really at the end of
Mhm.
the day. And so for me, it was I grew up playing video games. I had a family that played video games and brother and watching him. And I was really just a big blurred, still am. And I really just wanted to mimic that kind of social experience, but having wine be the social glue, not the main focus
Mhm.
of the marketing. I wanted it to be more about the community and how can we have fun while drinking wine. We were drinking Capri Suns and Kool-Aid and everything else while we were gaming back in the 80s and 90s. And so it was really just how do I kind of mimic that and lean into that and just be cheeky and have fun and yeah.
Yeah, so I was just thinking as you were talking, as far as like gaming and stuff like that, I don't think that people would think of let me get a glass of wine as
Mhm.
I'm playing my game, because
Mhm.
we only associated with, okay, I have my glass of wine, I'm relaxing, which is
Mhm.
fine, but
There are people who
what?
do imbibe while playing video games or even board games. I don't
Yeah.
want the brand to definitely be pigeonholed into the world of video games, but I mean, there are people who I knew that the consumer experience, even though it wasn't being promoted and reflected back in that way, from a marketing perspective, I knew that there were consumers who were still gathering in their own homes, having friends, family over. There's wine at Thanksgiving and everybody gets around for Scrabble or Jenga and things like it's
Yeah.
happening. It's just that how do I really make the brand reflect that? That was really what I wanted to do.
So you're wanting to like I'm thinking as far as like what what concepts do I see when I think about wine brands?
Mhm.
Trying to take the snootiness out of it or um the airs because it should be something just as easy as picking up a beer to pick up a glass of wine and enjoy it with
Mhm.
whatever you're doing.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I admire the beer industry for how they've made the beverage so accessible, and even and across the spectrum of whether or not you're a beer nerd or a beer novice. And so it was really just, I think that the wine industry as a whole, the culture is still wanting to stay very much as it is. And I really just wanted the brand I wanted to not be bored and myself trying to sell my own wine. And I wanted to be able to have different conversations and be inspired by other industries and ways of messaging, and because to try to explain and really get across that there are really no rules to wine at all.
Mhm.
There's unwritten rules, sure, but it's, there really isn't. And I think wine is in a very pivotal moment of needing to kind of find ways to connect with audiences in different ways. And so this was my kind of answer to everything.
So I see your mascot Hugh in the background. Tell me more about how he was created.
Yeah. I wanted it to be like non-binary. It looks a little bit more on the feminine scale. I really didn't want it to kind of be, I wanted it to be interpreted however the consumers kind of interpreted it. But it was really inspired by an indie video game character. That was pretty much it. It was inspired by a video game character, and I just said, wouldn't it be fun? It's called Cote of Paint. I wanted to throw a coat of paint onto the industry. That's where the name came from. That was just me kind of riffing. I I just said, wouldn't it be funny if the mascot looks like this particular video game character, or kind of a genre of video game aesthetic? And so, yeah, that was pretty much it. It just, I didn't really overthink it. I just said this would be fun, and I went to a graphic designer with the idea, and she executed it amazingly. So, yeah.
So what do you think you would be thinking about the state of the wine industry right now?
What do I think about it?
What would your character, your mascot?
Oh, what would the character? Oh, ooh. I have not taken the time to really do proper character development on them.
Okay.
So I think, I mean, it's the paint can't. They're rolling paint across the surface. So I would imagine they would be okay throwing a coat of paint onto some things if
Mhm.
they needed to make some changes. So
Shake some shit up.
shake some shit up. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the wine as far as what your flagship, what do you have out there?
Mhm.
Your top 3 or top 5s you
Yeah.
have.
I have 4 current releases right now. So I have available right now. I have the 2023 rosé of Grenache, and then I have the 2019 Pinot Noir from Duverita. All of my wines right now are based in were grown in Santa Barbara County, and
Mhm.
so then the third wine is Sangiovese 2024. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, 2022 Sangiovese, and then a 2024 Gruner Veltliner, and they're all very different. I really don't try winemaking is something I just try to keep simple, and I'm a winemaker kind of in the winery, and then the second it's in bottle, I kind of feel like I switch brains and become a marketer. So I really try not to wax poetic about my wines, but I really just try to find very well vineyards that are farmed as best as humanly possible, where the farmers are, the vineyard ecosystem between the people who tend to the land and also just the quality of the fruit that is produced is all either organic in practice or sustainable. The Pinot Noir is from a certified biodynamic vineyard. And so really just wanting to showcase the fruit. I have native yeast fermentation. I do very little additions, if at all. And so I really just wanted to style them in the way of what would be considered traditional and flip everything else on its head.
So with that, just not a whole lot of hands-on, just letting the fruit speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
What does the ABV run usually?
It really depends on the growing season. It's because you really want it to be balanced on the vine in terms of kind of that the sugar and the acidity. You don't want it to. I don't personally want to have. There's always a balance of the sugar and the acidity that kind of happens on the vine, and you want to pull it off at the right time. It's like taking a turkey out of the oven at the right time. It's just, and it's kind of really done by taste. So I try not, as much as you can make those calls come harvest when you're in a shared production space like I am. It's really just about kind of doing it by taste. So there's the ABV is generally between, I think like the Rosé and the Gruner are about low to mid 13, low 13, and then higher, closer to 14.4. At least the Sangiovese, I want to say, is 13.9. I actually have the Sangiovese sitting here in front of me. Oh, it's actually 13.2. That was the wrong vintage that I was thinking of. So yeah, between 13 and 14.
So you mentioned it all depends on the time of the harvest. So are there some grapes that are harvested at different times?
Yeah. So every varietal has a different kind of story arc in terms of its life cycle on the vine. And so it's really, there are certain white varietals that are kind of ready to go a little bit earlier. There are some that grow a little bit later in the growing season. So yeah, it's really about when you're making several different varietals, you're not picking it all at once. It's all there. You kind of know just based off of the life cycle of the vine and when it occurred, kind of as you get closer through the harvest season, when it's going to happen, and you can start testing your Brix levels and pH and all of that, and then kind of start scheduling the picks accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And
yeah.
Not that I said that I know everything, because I don't.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
But I'm a brand ambassador, so I usually sell. It's been a long time since I sold wine. Mm-hmm. So, but just knowing that process, I don't think that ever clicked in my head that, depending on the grape, it's a different harvest time. So that was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could collaborate with anybody in the industry, wine industry, beer industry, liquor industry, just some kind of collaboration, who would it be?
It's specifically in the beverage. I mean,
no, food or anything, any kind of collaboration. They'd be like, oh, if I could get this person. Ooh.
I would like to. There's so many video game streamers especially like black women video game streamers. There's even a what I think it's called Black Girl Gamers,
Mm.
and I would love to partner with them. I think there's just so many. The gaming world is just kind of very expansive. There's so I think there's so many fun partnerships to be had. That was just like the first thing that came to my head, because they even have gaming conferences and things like that. And I think that what an indie game that I play, that I like to play, is this kind of quick keystroke game, where you're actually, it's called Cook Serve Delicious. It's completely, it's
Huh.
cartoony, it's fun, it's cheeky, the person used puns and all sorts of just this humor is silly. And there's you can serve beer or wine in the game, and that it's,
Mm.
I think there would be something there. It's just, it would be so, so fun. I think that the partnerships within the gaming realm are kind of endless. So,
That's I don't think that's been tapped into. That's really good.
mhm.
I could see that. I could see that being something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this is all recorded, so if anybody tries to steal my idea, not kidding.
that's right. And I got it.
Yep. I have the receipts, you have the receipts.
That's right. But yeah, but that's a great concept to have that. That's
Mhm.
a untapped resource. That's really cool.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. So I was thinking, um, as far as marketing, as far as like reaching out to that untapped market of people of color,
Mhm.
we this is what I would always come up against when I was trying to peddle whatever I was peddling.
Mhm.
They wanted something sweet.
Mhm.
And how would you kind of navigate? I know I want people to have what they want, but to
Mhm.
kind of have more of an open mind to
Mhm.
try something else outside of the Moscato.
Mhm.
What what would be a suggestion to kind of get people kind of open up their minds to trying something different?
Yeah. I think it really kind of does take stepping stones. I mean, even people who like sweeter wines, you could go into, because I even think about my journey when it came to beer. I started out drinking sours. That was my gateway. And then I eventually just became a little bit more adventurous and started drinking other beers. I was getting less and less sour, and I was going more into kind of the lagers and Belgian ales and things like that. And so anybody who kind of prefers more sweeter wines, you could delve into um, kind of the sweet kind of dessert wine category, and even explore this off dry. I would even advocate for the kind of more of the off dry Rieslings
Mm-hmm.
and off dry, because I think I personally am just I will eventually make a Riesling one day. I promise I will. I love Riesling so much. I think I can drink it off dry, and
Mm-hmm.
you would, if you will like an off dry Riesling, you can kind of, I think you will be able to graduate into exploring a dry Riesling, and then you could kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. If you had, I'm trying to think of something though. I had couscous,
Ooh.
beets,
Mhm.
and maybe um, a baked chicken.
Okay.
What wine would go really good with that?
Baked chicken. How did you do is it like kind of traditional herb
Yeah.
chicken?
Yes. Yeah. Just a little, little salt, pepper, a little season, a little thyme,
Yeah.
maybe a little squeeze of lemon on it.
Rosemary, lemon.
Yeah.
I would say with couscous and beets, nothing too heavy of the red, but maybe like a Pinot or kind of a lighter bodied Grenache.
Mhm.
Those Pinot and a lighter bodied Grenache I have found pairs well with kind of what I would say like a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
So anything where there's kind of the where you have a lot of herbaceous, kind of those savory flavors.
Mhm.
Those pair really well with that. And then especially just kind of being lighter body, you don't want it to be super heavy of a red and kind of overpower those more daintier flavors of the dish.
Mhm.
That would be my yeah, that would be my go-to.
Are you of the opinion that for the most part, uh, go ahead and have whatever,
Yeah.
if it's a white or a red,
Yeah.
whatever you're eating?
They're it's whatever you want to be drinking in that moment, really is what
Yeah.
it is. I've never, even when I was working in tasting rooms, I was never somebody who wanted to lean into the tasting notes because it's all subjective at the end of the day. And there are people who have different spice cabinets and cultures and family recipes. And it's actually very well known that wine and how we teach flavors and notes of wine is still very Eurocentric. And so which is another layer of kind of the inaccessibility in wine. And so I really try not to plant any seeds of that nature when I talk about wine. It's really whatever you want to open. And if because
Mhm.
you'll have a good time. Wine really is, I think, the accessory to, you know, it's part of the social glue. It's not the thing that needs to be put on the pedestal. It's really the experience
Okay.
of who you're sharing it with.
Yeah. So is Cote of Paint, are you in distro, or I need to be in California to get a hold of you?
No, so I direct to consumer. I can pretty much ship to all states minus a handful. Um, Utah, Mississippi. There's some where the state laws are just
Mhm. Yeah.
too tough for direct to consumer. It's usually a hard no for some of those, but so direct to consumer, you can buy on the website and distribution. California, I can do direct. And then I think they still might have my wines over at Bacchus Kitchen in Pasadena. I just did an event there recently. And then Washington, I'm starting to get some more placements as well. Washington
Okay.
State. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, good. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Uh, I have started, I really haven't been drinking,
Mhm.
but I occasionally will get a Malbec because I like the spice of it.
Mhm.
'Cause I never really liked reds. I always wanted whites. And
Mhm.
and just all of a sudden I got ones, but that or Pinot I might be interested in. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Get because our audience always wants to support um, black owned businesses.
Mm.
So want to be sure that we could get to you, or say, hey, if you're in
Yeah.
California, make your way over that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But let's see, I was gonna also ask you about this. Sure. So as far as like, let's get behind the office, as far as like
Mhm.
how you kind of started the business.
Mhm.
Is there something that you could share with other young businesses? This is something that I learned that, I wish I would have known then what I know now. One
Mhm.
tidbit that might be interesting.
I think it's just don't be afraid to be disruptive and to be different. I think I when I initially was building the business, I wanted it to be disruptive, but then when I launched and it actually took me a little bit to get to where I'm at now in terms of the branding and the messaging. I think afraid to lean a little bit. I was afraid to lean into it because there is an underlying pressure from other industry professionals that, you know, you're devaluing wine because I have a paint can, cartoon paint can as the logo. And so I stand by your values, and what your values are really the driving force. So figure out what it is that you value and really make sure to stand by those, and don't be afraid to be disruptive if you have to.
Definitely have your own means as far as these are your practices, and that's what you need to stand by, because no one, at the end of the day, no one's going to be there with you as far as like the business goes. You have to kind of you have to be able to stand firmly on your own 2 feet on what your principles are and what you want to drive home. So being disruptive is not a bad thing.
It is not.
And I think being, in the minutia of doing the same thing, like, this is how we've always done it, why are you trying to change it? Like, that's the whole problem.
It's the whole problem. And whenever I hear that in anything, that kind of, it's never been done before, we can't, oh my gosh, it drives me nuts. It's so provincial and a little sad. So I try not to. We need more things that are kind of disruptive and inspirational, and if people thought that we needed things to say exactly the same, we wouldn't have done that mission around the moon. I mean, it's, especially with the Black Man pilot, like, come on. It's just, we need things to, we need change. And we need things to evolve. Yeah.
Definitely change. So, speaking of access, so what's one barrier in the winemaking that people don't see that you had to push through? Was it just being disruptive, or was it something else?
I think it was the responses to being disruptive. I still kind of get the microaggressions and I kind of get a little bless your heart energy for trying when I talk about my wine to, it's a little, oh, that's cute, you're adorable, good luck out there. I've gotten a lot of that lately. Good luck out there.
Is it for others that have been in the business that we have a portfolio and you are just starting out, that kind of thing, like that kind of bless your heart?
I think it's just more so that they don't think that the need to be disruptive is necessary. And so it's usually from, people who the kind of the more so the gatekeepers that would want to put your wines on shelf. So I've been trying to be very strategic and intentional about where I partner in terms of retailers. I want to work with people who aren't afraid to be disruptive. And so usually it's a little bit more work for me because I have to kind of do the hand research and kind of figure out where in, where in Seattle or where in California or where in, Boston I'm trying to land there. I think the consumer base is there. The direct to consumer base is for sure there. I think it's just finding those other retailers that want to equally be a part of Cote of Paint's world.
Yeah. And that's, those shelves are prime real estate, and being able to see your wine on the shelf and the strategic place for people to see. It can be kind of daunting and costly sometimes where they want to put you. So I can see that, doing that research and having to try to track back and make sure that everything is going good.
Right. And I understand that, I'm not somebody who I make the product, right? I've never been on the distribution side of, or the beverage director side of, building a wine list and things like that. I have friends that do it, but it's I understand that there's so much more nuance. You have your own, the retailers have their own kind of consumer base, that they want to cater to. But I think there's also this little, I think there's an opportunity to still bring something new to an existing consumer base and not be afraid to do it. And I think
Mhm.
there's still a little bit of pushback there.
Because I've had people, go in, they go to their regular spot and they were like, "What do you have new?"
Right.
And they're wanting
Yeah.
to know what's new out there because I've
Mhm.
had all the other stuff. And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, it's okay, or I have my fave, but I want
Yeah.
to do something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Um,
And it's not it's I do have a supportive network of industry folk, but it's I definitely do feel the pushback because I'm trying to be so disruptive.
mhm. Has it ever been, as far as you being a female at all? Or, um,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of I think there's always a little bit of a condescending tone to some extent. I think it, but I think it's been a little bit of both in certain situations, of being a person of color and a woman. It's just there's still just I've luckily been found a very good community kind of, that was I just recently did an event that was Black women in wine, and I was recently surrounded by other Black women in wine for this particular wine dinner a month ago, and it was fantastic. So, but when I started out, I there was maybe only two or three in that room that were making wine when I had started in the industry.
mhm.
So it's been uplifting to be around more, uh, of like energy and like people. So I feel a little bit more like I do have a place in the industry.
So, speaking of, the wine industry, I saw when I was scrolling, looking at your IG, mind my business, loving Jesus like I do. I saw a picture,
Uh-huh.
people of color wine award was an award.
Oh, it was a festival in Berkeley
Oh,
2 years ago, and
okay.
3 years ago? That was 3 years ago now, wow. Yeah, and I don't think that event planner's done another one yet. I
Oh,
really hope they bring it
okay.
back because it was phenomenal. The
Mhm.
energy was so it was so great. Yeah, it was POC Food and Wine Festival,
Okay.
and so there was folks from all cultures, all ethnic everybody was out there making food, pouring their beverages. It was amazing. It was so
I
fun.
It looked exciting. That's why
Mhm.
it got my attention. That's why I was thinking I wanted to mention it.
It was one
Um,
of the most well executed events that I've participated in. Yeah, it
mm,
was fantastic.
so in Seattle, I mean, I know someone. I have a friend that lives in Seattle, so I mostly think about Elino's yogurt. That
Mm,
there's a yogurt that's there that's only made in Seattle. They're very proud of it, but it's
okay.
delicious. But they're very proud of it. The
Mhm.
needle, and it's really cold there. So when do y'all have like festival season where you? I'm sure there's some part of the year where y'all get out and have festivals where you can kind of hang out,
Mhm.
showcase your wine. But
Mhm.
when does that take place?
Summers here, no one talks about it, but summers here are beautiful. They're fantastic. And so, yeah, the summer season is where a lot of those festivals happen. I do know that there is they do have the Washington. They just recently had the Washington wine festival, and I'm completely blanking on the actual name of it. That was just a few weeks ago. And there's also the Walla Walla wine scene, so Eastern Washington. There's usually some festivals out there too. I'm pouring at one in Walla Walla. It's speaking of unconventional, it's called Blood of Gods Merrymaking Festival, and it is I don't know anything about metal music, but it is metal kind of music in that culture alongside a wine tasting event. And I was at it pouring for a friend's label last year, and I thought it was just a very cool way to meet in the middle and meet a consumer where they are. Yeah. And it was incredible to see just the engagement that happened from it. So it was just really a big eye opener, and kind of, it really is one of those things where, first, if you haven't been to Walla Walla, it's a gorgeous little area that you kind of have to be intentional to get to, and great wines. And then also just that festival alone is very different and a great showcase of what it means to really kind of meet a consumer where they are, especially in wine, with wine. So
another untapped resource, because hey, when I'm banging my head, I might want to have a rosé in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's real good. That's I can see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, as we close out, I'm wondering if we dream a little bit, say, give you maybe 10 years from now. What do you think Cote of Paint will be?
Gosh, I really want it to be kind of just a celebration of wine in general. I've never, I imagine it kind of living in various regions to some extent, and I think living in less traditional markets, and hopefully just having a lot of fun with kind of the video game and gaming culture. I think there's, like I said, we talked about it earlier, it was like there's so many partnerships and things that could be navigated. It's uncharted territory, and it's really the map is foggy, and I'm kind of willing to explore it and figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that needs to go into the journal. I'm sure it's probably already in the journal.
It's in the journal. Yeah. It's on my vision board.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Let me see. Someone was asking, is it a Reptar shirt?
It is full-blown Nickelodeon. I love that. I'm so glad that it's called Reptar. Yeah, so it's the whole cast of characters from Nickelodeon. Reptar takes up most of the real estate on the shirt.
Yes. And somebody was really digging on the metalhead and a little glass of wine. Yeah. So that's really good. Yes, absolutely. I think that's really great. I can just see that could be just so amazing. So I hope you have a really good time again.
Thank you.
But I really appreciate you talking to me, Kristen, and sharing what you do for Cote of Paint, and knowing that for the most part, we can access it, get a hold of it, and have something. Yeah. And let's see, somebody just said, I'm so glad it's shipped to Alabama now. So
yes,
awesome.
I have a yes, so I have a kind of like a third-party compliance. So anyway, I just recently activated Alabama. I was able to get
nice. Alabama. So, nice. Yeah. All right. So it's making plans. All right, good. Very good. So I'm definitely going to look and see. I'm sure Texas, they
I can one of
one of the, I say usually
Texas loves wine. We
Yeah.
all love wine out there.
Yeah.
There's a decent following of folks out there who like
Yeah.
wine. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Kristen. I love
Thank
everything that you're doing.
you.
I love that you are being disruptive in the wine game
Thank you.
and that you're taking charge and you are standing on your own 2 feet as far as
Mhm.
what your principles are as far
Right.
as being who you want to be in that industry because
Thank you.
it takes variety. Just because there's a variety of wines, we need a variety of winemakers. So
Mhm.
thank you for being that one that's standing out there amongst the rest.
Thank
So thank you everyone who joined us for being Black in Craft. Well, we don't apologize for how we are in the craft beer industry, even in wine.
And I
And
definitely recommend anyone go to you mentioned the Wine and Culture Fest, and that is I still have not yet poured there, but I know everybody who has either attended or gone, and it's everybody raves about it. So go
it
out, support
sounds
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Between that and Clinkfest, which I forgot to put a post that about, but Clinkfest in Chicago is coming
Mhm.
up too. So yeah,
Yeah.
lots of wine things going on. So, but thank you so much, and I'll say bid y'all adieu. And nope, just programming note because I am going to Barrels on the Bayou. There won't be a show on the 20th. Yeah, on the 20th when I get back. Because I'll probably will be very, very tired. I'll be getting in like at 10 o'clock that night. So yeah,
Ooh.
y'all don't want to tire me.
No.
So see y'all. Good night.